What's up, everybody? Fat Cracker here. You know what time it is. It's time to cook. Tonight, we're going to do a kind of a low budget, about a $30 meal. We're going to have some smothered chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes, and cornbread. Y'all stick around. We're going to get to cooking. All right, everybody, we're going to start this meal off with our mashed potatoes. So I got about 10 or 11 red potatoes in here, peeled and cubed up. We got them in the water, put about a half teaspoon of salt in there. We're going to let them boil, and while they'll boil, we'll go over to the green beans and start our green beans. All right, guys, we got our pot warming up here for the green beans. I'm going to add 5 slices of bacon. Let that sear a little bit. But we'll get that in there and let it sear down, then we'll come back and add the rest of the ingredients. All right, our bacon's starting to crisp up. We're going to add 1 whole yellow onion. Get that in there and let that cook down. We'll sear that down a little bit, and then we'll add our green beans. All right, we got our onions softened down a little bit. Now we're going to add our green beans. We'll add a little bit at a time. Try to keep scragglers away, but while we add them, we'll mix that bacon and onion up in there. Yeah, I'm hitting the stand with my handle. All right, let me grab the scraggler, get it over here. Then we'll add the rest of them. Now I just lost a bunch. Get that up there. That's fresh green beans. You don't have to use fresh, you can use canned. Today I went the fresh route. So we'll let this sear just a bit. Now it comes down to one option here. You can add water, which is the easiest route and the cheapest route. But I had some extra chicken broth in the pantry or refrigerator, so I'm gonna add it first. We got our potatoes boiled pretty good over there. So we'll add our chicken broth. And you want to get enough to go over. Over the top of the green beans. If I ain't got quite enough, I'll add water to make up for it. Yeah, we're going to have to get some water. Get some water put over it. Go ahead and add that. And that's where we want to be. Stir it up one more time. And now that we got this going, we're going to move it to the back burner, bring it to a boil, then put it on simmer for about 30 minutes. So we'll go ahead and shift. I'm going to go ahead and shift everything around, put our potatoes over here, and then we'll start on the main part of the dinner. All right, guys, we got our Dutch oven here. We got some bacon grease in there warmed up. And what we're going to do is we got 8 chicken thighs, bone in, skin still on it. I'm going to stick them in there and sear them. I'm going to use a little bit lower heat than I did with the chili, hopefully not to burn nothing. So we'll let them sear. Sear on that side for a couple minutes, flip them on the other side and sear them. And then I'll sear up the other 4, and once we get them done, we'll come back to making the rest of the dish. I also forgot to say the chicken thighs are seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, and paprika to add the flavor to the meal. And we'll be back when we get ready to make the rest of it. All right, we're done searing chicken. Let's pull this back. These are our last 4 pieces. We're going to pull them out. Then all that flavor stuck to the bottom there. We'll pull that off. Not black like it was the last time. And I want to thank Mike Z for that on YouTube. He told me the right way to sear. But while we got the chicken out, what we're going to add is 1 whole white onion. Get that mixture out of there. Try to pull some of that off the bottom. Got my towel here, grab the pot because it's hot. Still gonna get a little hot there. I got it on a low medium. Turn it down a little bit more. Let that onion go do its thing. Try to pull all that flavor off the bottom of the pot. Still burnt somewhat. Keep stirring that. And then I'm gonna add some baby belly mushrooms. Get them in there. Stir them around. And we'll let these cook down and keep pulling the flavor up out of the bottom of the pan. And then we'll get to finish making our gravy. This will be the base of our gravy here. Should we scrape everything off? Put this down. I'm going to add just a drop of oil to that bacon grease. A splash of oil. Will it really drop? Our green beans came to a boil. I'm turning them down to simmer now. I got my potatoes on the simmer. They're done. We're going to get this simmering, and then I'll show you how we make the mashed potatoes. I did jiffy cornbread. Follow the instructions on the box. My oven's warming up for that now. That'll go in here shortly. We'll let this cook down and we'll come back and finish up. All right, we got our onions cooked down and our mushrooms softened up a little bit. So now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of flour. Get that in there. 3 heaping tablespoons of flour. Get that in there and we'll get that all mixed in. I'm also, before I mix, I'm going to add some poultry seasoning from Badia, Southern style. So let's mix this in so we don't burn that flour, let that flour cook. And what we're making is a roux. Get that in there mixed in real well. Nice and thick. So now what we're going to do, there's my oven. Okay, we got that cooked in. So now we're going to start by adding 4 cups of chicken broth. We'll do a little bit, stir it up, and see how it looks. Let it cook. A little bit more in there. Let that cook in, get it all mixed in, and start thickening it up. It's slowly starting to thicken up now. Keeping everything moving so it don't stick to the bottom. We got our heat on medium low. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Keeping it moving. As I'm stirring, you can feel it try to stick to the bottom and just keep everything moving so it soaks into that chicken broth and thickens up a little bit. See how it's getting thicker? So we're gonna bump in a little bit more chicken broth. And that'll probably be about it for that. Keep stirring. Oh yeah. Turn our heat all the way down to low. And then what we're going to do is reshift myself here a little bit. Still a little thin, but I think we'll be all right. Still thickening it up. If not, it might be a running gravy, but we'll let it go like that. So now we'll beat this off, and then we'll come over here. We're going to add our chicken back to the gravy. Get it down in there. Try not to make a mess. Push it down in there like that. Try to squeeze everything in under that gravy. We want all this chicken under that gravy. Get that under there. Push it down. All right, we got that in there. Put the pan to the side. Take a spoon here. If I can find the right one. You use this one. Pull that and try to pour it over a little bit. Push it down. All right. Then we'll put our lid on that and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And we'll come back and get to everything else. Start our mashed potatoes. All right, everybody. So our potatoes are done. Got them drained. Now we're going to mash them. I normally have a bigger masher, but this is all I can find today. I don't know what happened to my big one. So we're going to mash them down. Now everybody makes mashed potatoes a different way. So this is how we make them, or how I make them. With a little twist, something I saw that I'm going to try them today. We'll get them all mashed down, looking good. And then once we get that, all right, I think we're good there. If you give me just a second, I forgot my fork. I gotta go get my fork. I think we're all mashed down pretty good. So I'll pause this real quick, go get my fork, and we'll come back to it. All right, we're back. So what I'm gonna do now is, I know this might be overkill to some, but I got a stick of softened butter here. We're gonna drop that down in there. Get it all off. It's by the stove, so it melted a little bit. And we'll whip that in with the fork. Get it whipped in there real well. All right. You see them starting to make a shape. Normally I add garlic, salt, and pepper, but today we're going to try a different season. We already got the butter there, I know, but I'm going to add Kinder's buttery garlic herb. We're going to put that in there. Sprinkle it in. Well, I hate the sprinkle. Let's go a little bit bigger. That should be enough. We'll get that mixed in real well. So got our butter, that mixed. So now I'm going to add a splash of milk to it. Thin them out just a hair, not a lot. We'll mix that milk in there. Get it all mixed in. Alright. And that, my friends, there's our mashed potatoes. Nice and thick. Stick to your bone. And then we'll let them sit for a little while, and we'll come back when we make our plate. Alright, bud. Here we have it. I want y'all to look at this. I've been stirring it. Checking it out. Chicken's done. Pull the lid off, and there you have it. Smothered chicken. Gravy thickened up pretty good. Still a little thin, but it'll do its job. Chicken thighs are done. Internal temp of 172. Alright, and that's what she looks like. So now we're going to plate it up, give her a taste test. Keep watching. Alright, so I already put a big heap of pile of mashed potatoes on the plate. We got our southern green beans all cooked and done and tender. Now we're going to pick out a piece of chicken. We're going to set that right on top of the mashed potatoes. Then we're going to come in, take our spoon here, move everything to the side. Come on down and get us a nice spoonful. And we're going to put that over top in our gravy. Then we come over here and get our last 5 ingredients, set it all off. We'll add a couple pieces of cornbread, and it fell apart on me. And there you have it. That's a put a meat on your bones dinner right there. We'll pick it up. We'll give it a taste test. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. Here we are. We're about to try this out. Nice southern dish, smothered chicken and mashed potatoes and green beans. So let's try our green beans first. That's pretty good. Real good. The way my grandma used to make them. That's good. Now we're going to come over and get some mashed potatoes and gravy. Right there's fire, bud. That's good stuff. And then finally the chicken. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there you have it. Let's set this down. There you have it. It's a damn good dinner we're about to eat. Thank y'all for watching. And don't forget, if you ain't tried, you ain't making it, bud. Give it a try. Get in the kitchen. Try to cook. It's only going to turn out one or two ways. You might mess it up a couple times, but eventually you'll get to where you need to be. Y'all have a good one.